How are you again?
Good.
Lovely. Nice to meet you, Roshana. Thank you for calling. You know, when you're running these kind of things, you always have to eat
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
go,
Exactly,
and it's
yeah.
so unhealthy. I've got these 2 days of unhealthy, and normally last year I was here,
Yeah.
and the lunch was actually not so bad because you
Okay.
had a warm lunch, and you could choose what you eat. Because there are certain things I don't eat, like bread, for example. You know, you can only have a little bit of it because that's carbs, and they make you tired, and you need to have energy all the time. So the idea is that you just plug it up with a lot of protein,
Yeah.
but don't mix the protein with
Okay.
carbs because people don't really know this. We call it food pairing,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
exactly, right?
So when you eat, say, meat and pap, which is our daily staple, right? And we just munch it, munch it, munch it, munch it. But guess what happens? Your stomach releases hydrochloric acid to digest. There's no really like teeth in there, right? So these hydrochloric acids and digestive enzymes. So when you're eating carbohydrates,
Yeah.
there's certain amount of digestive enzyme that gets to be released to help the hydrochloric acid to digest the carbohydrates. If you're eating meat, there's different enzymes that will help your body digest meat. When you combine the two together, starch and meat, your body gets confused. It only chooses one to digest. So it means the other one is not digested.
Really?
Really. And then what happens is, as it goes down to your small intestine, this is where the magic happens, where absorptions of minerals takes place.
Yeah.
It's not digested. Exactly. When it gets to your large intestine, because it was not digested,
Yeah.
it starts to putrefy and create toxins.
Oh, gosh.
That's where autoimmune comes from.
Okay.
So watch what you eat and what you're pairing it with what you're eating. So
So
starch,
are you saying that we should only eat like one thing at a time?
exactly. Or combine vegetables
Yeah.
and meat,
Right?
vegetables or starch. Never ever meat and starch.
Like steak and chips.
There you go, that's starch.
That's such a good combination.
I know, but it's bad combination because it confuses
Oh.
your digestive,
Okay.
basically. Free tip. So we also do I do like a podcast, and I call it Live or Die. I know it's such a very huge and right, but the idea is that I wanted to get the reaction because people are unaware of the food that we eat. People are unaware that when you're not pairing your food correctly, people are unaware on the food that you need to avoid. It's all that. So the whole program is
yeah.
to educate and say, listen, if you eat this, your path to cancer is that one. If you eat this, your path to health is that one.
So you do a podcast.
We do a podcast, yeah.
So where is that available?
It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So we do YouTube. I did a very extensive interview, 40 minutes interview with an ex-pharmacist. He left the job because he felt like chemical medication wasn't helping, and which is true. There are certain things that modern medicine has contributed, but there are certain things that it's not necessary. Chronic. What is chronic? Who decided it's chronic? What makes it chronic?
Yeah.
And what medicine are you supposed to be taking for such thing as chronic?
Yeah.
This is how Biomuti was born. Because our whole thing was, we are aware that there's chronic, but do you want to take chemicals
For the rest of your life.
for the rest of your life? Because those chemicals, you know what they do? They cause
Yeah.
what they call side effects. But that's another word of saying they cause other diseases.
Yes.
Exactly. So now you're there with hypertension, you're taking hypertension medication, and then it causes other issues. Now
Right.
you've got diabetes that pops up, or you've got heart problem that pops up. It's not because you had it, it's because the medication, it works differently. Natural medicine works with your body.
Yeah.
Chemical medication forces your body to do something. And when you force your body to do something, something breaks. Always.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That makes sense. So, what is your channel called?
Live or Die with the Bohotapani.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go. check
Cool.
it out. Okay. So, so when I hear the name Biomuti, right? Like, obviously, as a South African, like I'm associating it with muti.
Yes.
So, like muti it's just another word for medicine.
Correct. In isiZulu, muti is medicine.
Right.
So all we did was, on the name muti, we just took out the H, because you can actually spell muti with the H, as in muti with the, as you're breathing out, and you can spell just muti, just without the H.
Okay.
So Biomuti, the whole thing about is that combining biotechnology, meaning that we don't take a herb from the tree, dry it up, and then mix it up and then put it here. We don't do that. We use science, informed science, and the right formula on what are the extracts. So we extract it. Extraction means that we do an aqueous extraction. If you take your tea, your favorite tea, and you pour hot water and you close it up for 15 minutes, that's extraction.
I suppose. Yes.
No, it is. You've just extracted tea, and are you drinking the tea? You're not eating the leaves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's exactly how this is born.
Okay, so this is not like, so all of this is
It's
like,
extracted.
oh, okay.
So it's more concentrated, more intense.
So is this a liquid?
No, these are capsules. So after you've done that liquid extraction, you now have to employ services of a spray dryer or freeze dryer. Freeze dryer is expensive because you're using cold to make it into a powder. But when you spray dry, you're using heat. So they put it in huge tanks after they've done the liquid, and then they spray it up from the tank at the top. So as it comes down, there's a bit of a tornado of hot air. So as the tornado spins around and this water particles come down, by the time it reaches the floor of it's powder. That's pretty much.
Oh, that's amazing. So where is your factory located?
So we are in Silverton,
In Johannesburg.
in Johannesburg. Yeah, Pretoria basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who else? Where can you get this from?
So clicks online, we have the product.
Right.
We are now trying to get into the stores, because majority of our customers are actually elderly.
Right.
And I don't know if you know this. By end of this year, there will be over 1 billion old people globally. Meaning 1 billion people that are going to struggle with joints,
Yeah.
1 billion people that are going to struggle with cognitivity,
Yeah.
1 billion people are going to struggle with urinary tract infections.
But not so much into the South African demographic, though.
Definitely in the South African demographics. All people are the same.
I mean, our demographic is skewed towards the younger side.
Yes, but we're also going to be giving older people as well, and we're having them coming out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So the reason I mention these stats, it just gives you an idea of where we're going with this, because the future of medicine is plant medicine.
Yeah. Again.
Because if you're saying, I'm going to take something that's going to cause me other diseases, it means you are a candidate for what we do.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, everybody wants the healthier, natural form. Of
Exactly.
anything, right?
Exactly.
So what are we treating then?
So we're treating anxiety. There's about 1 billion people globally that have anxiety disorder, diagnosed, right? And that is being treated with this one. We all need one.
Okay. How does it work? Do
You take a
use the
capsule.
same,
No, it comes you down. And again, what's in there is all the different herbs.
Yeah.
Skelettium, which is, we get it from Western Cape. Ashwagandha, coming out of India.
Oh, so it relaxes you.
Yes, there you go. And we've got Griffonia, which is coming out of Ghana, 5-HTP.
So ashwagandha is quite strong though, like it relaxes you.
Yes, so we've,
Are these, can you just like take it like a normal supplement in the morning?
Yes.
Or
Yes,
is
yes,
it
yes.
going to make you like drowsy?
no,
No.
no.
Just like
Yeah, so there's a certain percentage of it that's there. Like I'm saying, it's formulated. We combine,
Yeah.
the different actives.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If this is like plant-based medicine and you're going up against the chemical medicine, is the chemical medicine considered stronger and this is more long-term?
No, the difference between that and a chemical medication is that that's not going to cause you other diseases,
Yeah.
because it's not blocking anything. It just works with your body
Yeah.
to fix whatever that's going on. Whereas chemical medication forces
Yeah.
And when it does that, that's when your body starts crashing in other areas.
But it's that forcing that time space that I'm talking about.
Yes, so this does
That-
not.
That time space.
This does not.
So this would be like.
Smooth, easy with you the whole time.
So what if you on the forcing medicine, right?
Well, you need to be out of that because
And
you can't
then-
combine the two together.
Will you find any noticeable changes
Yes.
in your condition?
100%. But you must stop the other one because you can't do both.
I mean,
If it's
yeah.
a treatment of the same thing,
Yeah.
it's just not going to be working well because they work in different streams. This is natural way.
And you have to stop the other.
You must,
medicine too.
otherwise you're gonna have a clash. So we always say that don't do like a cold turkey because
Yeah.
chemical medication can be quite dangerous when you do cold turkey. So
Correct.
what you do is that you
Ease yourself out.
ease yourself out of that,
Yeah.
and then you detox, and then you stop with that. And detox, we're talking about your dandelion, right? Dandelion extracts detoxes you, detox your liver and all sorts of things.
I mean, I'm sold, really.
Good.
I'm sold.
Very good. Very good. That's Prostivex. I designed that for men with me in mind. So 5 years ago, or 4, I had a pain in my groin. Now, I wasn't aware what was the pain. I was shit scared because I'm thinking cancer, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a pain in my groin. You don't want any pain there. So I went to go see a urologist. He says, your prostate is enlarging. So when you hit the age of 40 as a man, your prostate is like a little ball, size of a walnut actually, sits above your bladder, which is here, and between your bladder and your testicles. And the job of a prostate is to produce semen, and the job of your testicles is produce sperm. So when you ejaculate, the sperm gets mixed with the semen, and then you ejaculate. So the semen carries the sperm into the vagina. That's how babies are made. That's why the function of the prostate. When you get older, 2 things must happen. Either you must have sex every day, which nobody does, right? And then when you don't, it builds up.
It builds up.
It builds up.
Okay.
But then, because the semen is actually cells, right?
Right.
So that liquid is actually cells. If you look at microscopes, it's actually cells.
Yeah.
So as it builds up and nothing happens, so the cells start building within the prostate itself, and then it enlarges it. As you're not participating, it enlarges it. So what then happened, if put your finger in here,
Oh my goodness.
no, put your finger. If I do that,
Yeah.
is that constrictive? If I continue, so that's exactly what happens. So when you urinate now,
Yeah.
your urine, the pipe that connects, because
Right.
remember the pipe goes to your bladder, it goes through your prostate. Exactly. So as you pressing, nothing comes out. You're like, because you now have a blockade. So what this does, naturally, it kills those cells, get rid of those cells, extra cells,
Yeah.
to make it much more easier. Then it stops it from expanding, so it goes back to a little bit normal. Then you can now pass urine. So anybody above the age of 40, 50, 60, 65, 80, that's what it solves. Naturally, without go and scrape it. Because science, they go and scrape it out. So what happens when they scrape it out? You're going to ejaculate air because there's no semen anymore. You follow what I'm saying?
Okay.
Was that informative?
This whole discussion was extremely informative. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, so you're online at the moment,
Correct.
and you want to go into a few stores.
Yes.
Yes, and who are you dealing with, Leila?
I'm dealing with Samantha.
Samantha.
Peters, yes.
Okay. Have you had a discussion? With
I've
her?
had many.
And what?
And I've had many other pressures to put the pressure. I've had DBSA, I mean DSBD, Department of Small Business Development. I've written to them to say, please talk to clicks. I've written to IDC, please talk to clicks, right? And the minister's office actually sent an email, but nothing has transpired.
Yeah. I think the important thing is though, like, do you want to stop filming now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Boza.